Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, quick reminder, I am going to have this abundance amplifier meditation event. That is a private event. If you would like to partake, go check it out, emmyevolving.com. 1 second. All right. So I asked what this reading is going to be about. And what I heard is it's their final decision, but, and it's a big, juicy but. It's a big, juicy but. They can't stay away. So there's something going on. There's something, some making my head itch and my hair frizz. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. We'll find out though. All right, here goes. Okay. Man, I have a packed work day today. It's gonna be okay. It's a busy day. I love my busy days. I love to nap. I've been taking so many naps. It's ridiculous. I've been taking so many naps. Like it's literally ridiculous. Like I'm on the schedule of a toddler. Not even lying. Woke up super early this morning. And then about hour after I woke up, I went and took a nap. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. It's gonna be okay, girl. You just need some rest. All right, let's get started. So someone's made their final decision, but they can't stay away. That tells me that they're still kind of confused in their head in regards to who and what you are to them, right? Some people are super stubborn in their process of accepting who you are, right? Let me just, what is going on here? It feels like I'm not centered or something. I'm not sure. And then my cowlick is doing all kind of trying to stand up. It's gonna be okay though. So they're not fully understanding who you are for them. Sometimes it takes people a while to realize this. I don't know that this is a love reading though. Okay. So it could be something along the lines of like, it could be something along the lines of someone realizing that you're never going to give in, right? That you are never going to be in agreement with their craziness. Like cause I'm sensing two energies. One energy is a healthy energy, right? They're not toxic to you. They're not plotting and planning and all of this crazy ass stuff. And then the other energy that's like coming forward very emphatically, it's this thing of they are realizing to the utmost degree, they are realizing, man, this is not going to work in my favor. It's not. You should stop. I don't know how toxic that person is for you, for those who have a toxic person. But then there's also that healthier individual who absolutely respects your decisions. I think they might not agree with one of or some of the decisions that you've made. I think they kind of feel like you deserve more than what you're settling for. This is a healthy person for you. So there's two, okay? I don't want you to get it confused. There's one that's really bad towards you. Um there's one energy that's really bad, right? They're toxic. They make you feel like you're not enough. They make you feel really badly about yourself, or at least they try to. And that one needs to just be thrown in the trash. I'm not joking. I'm serious. That one, throw it away. Just put it in the trash. That's where it belongs, in the trash. That's a trash ass connection. It's not even a connection. It's more like someone found you during a period where you were just so super vulnerable. I'm not making excuses for you. Like, you need to develop more discernment, okay? Like, for those who are dealing with a trash ass person, like, I'm here to support you, but support you in a way that's truthful. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh my god, you're being so victimized," and this. No, you got to use more discernment, baby boo. You do. Just because someone shows you attention does not mean they have your best interest at heart. You look at social media. Oh my god. You look at social media, right? Um, it doesn't happen very often anymore because I've just completely just stopped answering all of my social media. I have. Um, but I used to get these like basura ass people who would be all up in my inbox and like, "Ooh, you're so pretty. Ooh, you're so this, you're so that. Hi, can we chat?" No, no. I don't care if you think I'm cute. I don't care. Like, they will come at you with all of these compliments in the hopes that you were starved for attention. And I think the real issue is that you are starved for acknowledgement. There's a difference between attention and acknowledgement, right? Recognition. There's a huge difference between the two. And if you're starved for acknowledgement, validation, then you'll settle for attention. And the people who are willing to pay attention to you in that way are people who have no respect for you. They're just trying to feed you these lines so um that way you'll be like, "Oh my god, you think I'm cute?" No, stop. Okay? So you have to use discernment. When you allow someone in because you're lonely, because this and that, and a lot of people are lonely. That's why this happens so common. If you don't like yourself, you don't like spending time with yourself, which again, that's unfortunately very common, then you will accept the attention from people who are substandard, you know, like super substandard. Um, I think the key to this is that you need to put in the effort to get to know yourself better and begin to really appreciate yourself as you are, right? Like, even if I wasn't with my husband, I would not be starved for attention because if y'all knew the jokes I tell myself throughout the day, it's just so fun. Being alone in my thoughts is so fun. I think deep things, funny things. I'm never bored alone. I'm just not. I'm never bored alone. I have a lot of things that I could mull over, a lot of thoughts to peruse, to pass through. And that's why I'm just like, "Oh, you think I'm cute? Okay, thank you." It's not gonna get you anywhere. That's just not. That's not gonna get you anywhere. You know? So I think if you work on that, you'll have less of this circumstance where you are allowing in the very people or person who has just become so toxic. And if this has happened more than one time, you really need to urgently find the root causation of this, okay? Like what lives in you, what emotion, um, what perception lives in you that allows for this to continue to give rise, okay? So, something happened during the spring. Whatever it was something that was magical. And this reignited your ability to manifest a lot of the really important things that you need right now. So it might not have. Oh, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, village baby, you came at the right time. So there's something that you really need that's being manifested. Okay. Um it's their final decision, but they can't stay away. They can't stay away. Oh Lord. So, not saying this is you, village baby, but I'm just saying your presence is emotional support for me. Your presence is legit emotional support for me in this moment. This is not my reading, but still. So, this is some upside down masculine, right? Um, is this the upside down masculine that is healthy for you? That helps you to kind of figure things out? Listen, they need to don't say that. Why would you say that? This guy, listen, they need to make their presence known. Who does? Nobody need to make their presence known. Bruh, why would you say that? Okay. Okay. Do you guys need whoever this is to make their presence known? It's like whoever this is for you. It's just like through the cards. Oh, I'm just okay. Whoever this is that needs to make their presence known to you, they ain't coming home. They're not coming home. I'm just saying. Okay. Someone's getting crunk with ATVs outside. Don't make me get out the go-karts. Someone's getting crunk with some ATVs. I'm just saying, your girl can hang with a go-kart. Okay, but for real, whoever this is, it's some upside down masculine. They're not coming home. They can't stay away, but they don't know how to approach. So that it's a moot point, to be honest. It feels like it's a moot point. It feels like it's a moot point. But maybe their proximity is what's going to help you to begin creating even more opportunities for yourself, right? For your growth, for your stability, for all of that. Whom in the heavens is playing hide and seek? Either that or just quietly walk away. Hey, hey, my twinny has spoken. Okay, I will read it again. Whom in the heavens is playing hide and seek? Either that or just quietly walk away. Okay? He has spoken, listen to him. So, this is someone that's in some pretty pronounced incubatory state. They're in some type of incubatory state and they're going to need to come out of hiding already, right? I don't know if it's you or maybe you're a cross watcher. I don't know. It's either you or your cross watcher, but someone is needing to come out of this incubation. These are cycles that are being corrected. They're being turned right side up. All right. The energy just shifted. The energy absolutely just shifted. Do you guys feel that? It's like Just a fucking nasty ass energy. For real. Ew. Ew. Ooh, it's like a wannabe energy. Like, it's a pick me energy, but pick me with a small penis, diseased, smelling like cheese. Ew. Ew. It's a nasty ass energy. How about this? Let's go ahead and do a clearing for the diseased energy carrier. um, it would be good for you to go away at this point because I'm about to do some energy work that is geared to fuck up stank ass cheese energy. Or speaking in hypothetical terms, of course. I have no interest in fucking anyone up. Hold on. All done. All done. All right. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm about to clear this space. Breathe very deep. Boo, why are you not plugged in? What's going on here? Oh, it turned off. Dup, dup, dup. Okay, that's all I wanted to hear. I just want to hear the top, top, top. Okay, what should we play? What should we? Oh, let's do this one. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. If you'd like to experience, partake in some of this clearing energy, simply put hashtag clear. This clearing will be calibrated to hashtag clear. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel the sensation of ice fire, vibrations, a mild pressure on the chest, the third eye, the base of your skull, down your spine. Some of you might begin to feel very warm. You might begin to feel emotions rise. Allow it. Allow it to be cleared. Take one more deep breath in. Slow exhale out. I'm told to play one more song for you guys. Continue to breathe very deep, very slow. I call back to me what is rightfully mine. I push away from me everything that disrespects my sovereignty. And I flood this field, the space that belongs to me. I flood it with my energy. And anything I do not want around me, you will feel my wrath. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow yourself to come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that we share. How do you guys feel? That's one of my most favorite songs. It was written just for me. Love it. The space feels amazing now. It feels amazing. I love it. All right. So these cycles that are being initiated or being reinitiated, this is something that if a person does not respect your sovereignty, their goal is to make your autumn and your winter absolutely upside down. And this is something that you need to make sure, is not going to be allowed to continue. You have to do the appropriate things, the necessary things. You need to, in some situations, you need to prepare to fight for yourself. Okay. In other situations, you need to prepare to simply walk away and never look back. It's when we allow the most malignant people in our life to continue to have access to us that their malignancy has the ability to continue to affect us. And no, if you're done, you need to start conducting yourself, choosing options, behaving, communicating as though you are done. Do not cater to the insecurities, mind games, emotional manipulations of malignant, malicious people. Okay. I tell you guys right now, the times that I have had, because there's been quite a few different rounds of stalkers, and it's escalated. With each new one, it's escalated. So you guys are familiar with the one that's right now, full on death threats to me, my family, even my 2-year-old niece, who like, have y'all ever even seen her? Do y'all even know her name? Where she lives, what she look like, who her parents are. I mean, before you start threatening that little girl, you might want to familiarize yourself with who her father is. You might want to know who her father is and what her father will do to protect her. I'm saying, so that it's like a whole nother level of what the hell is going on, right? And no, I haven't done anything or alluded to anything that would make this any of my fault. Okay. The other stalker that was right before this one, they kind of overlapped. That one waited inside my brother's house until about 3 in the morning, waiting for me to come home. I think because they were under the impression that I live with him or that he lives with me. Ooh, no, baby boo. No. And you know what it is? You know what it is? Um, right, Danielle? Mhm. Mhm. I found out after the fact. I found out after the fact. Okay. I think what it is that something in my behavior, because oftentimes in my personal life, I am filled with so much grace and patience for other people that they misunderstand that as like it's reciprocated. She's just scared. She's just scared because she married the wrong person. She's supposed to be with me. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Y'all are that's like ew. Ew. Just set the record straight. I'm married to the person that I choose to be with. I'm not simply married out of convenience because this is all I know because I ain't got nothing if I don't got this. Like, please, fuck out of here with that shit. Please. And what I'm learning, and it's taking me such a long time to learn, is that when people start acting funky like that towards me, I just need to lay the smacketh down with the elbows and the knees if need be. Right? Yeah. Yeah. These are the kind of people where the huge reason why I've been so averse to the twin topic altogether is because of these people. These are people who believe they have ownership over me because they believe that I'm their twin. You wish. I am no mirror of your shit. I don't do that shit to people. You don't even have to tell me to leave. The moment I get a sense of you don't want me around, bitch, I'm out. I'm out. You don't even have to use the words. The moment I feel your energy is not vibing with my presence in your life, I will remove myself. I am not a mirror of you. No. So you guys need to be very, very, very clear. Very clear where you stand with people. Don't be scared to let a motherfucker know. Don't be scared to let them know. I ain't feeling you. I was telling I was telling someone again last night. Hey, I'm so glad because if I had to be face to face with um I would be like, "Hey, hi, can you go home because you make me uncomfortable." Like I'm not comfortable with the amount of self-control that I need to exercise in your presence because I just want to bop you. Just a right like a right on the noggin because some screw is loose or something. You ain't thinking right. Right? So you got to be very, very clear. You have to be very, very clear. For those of you who are dealing with toxic people, you just got to lay it straight. Lay it straight. Like you're toxic. You're toxic to me. I'm sure you're a nice person for other people, but for me, your presence in my life is disgusting. I can barely tolerate it. You give me gas. You're like a big cup of beans, and I'm intolerant to beans. You know what I'm saying? Like my body cannot get rid of you fast enough. Fast enough. So it's time for you to awaken to the ways in which you give passive permission to be accessed, right? It's their final decision, but they can't stay away. There are two very distinct energies. That unhealthy one, you put that in a plastic bag, cover it with salt, put it in another bag, tie that up real well, and then you put it in a box. Fill the box with more salt and then you bury the box somewhere in a field somewhere far away from you. Say a little prayer over it. Lick your hand, put it on the dirt, and be like, Jesus, seal this on my behalf. The blood of Christ impels you. I'm telling you, fucking do your own exorcism. Pull it out, throw it away, give it back to Jesus. That needs to be kicked out of your life. For the healthier one, hey, they're a fragile person. Leave them alone. they'll come. They'll come forward when they find the courage. They just fragile. They afraid. You intimidating. You just very intimidating to their heart, and they don't know how to approach you. We won't hold that against you. You're just gonna have to give them some time to find the courage to come forward. Okay. I think part of the problem is that you don't know what their intention is. And since you don't know what their intention is, it's like you can't set your own intentions. Not true. Not true. Not true. Village bebe. You here still? Can you do you want to share the story of when you first came around? Do you want to tell them what I told you like 2 years later? I didn't know what his intention was, right? I didn't know what his intention was. I had no real assumptions, but I was just like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this energy. This energy is not the business. I don't know what's going on. And one thing after another, and then I realized because I set my intention. I was very clear in my intention. I didn't know him at all. And my intention was, Mikey, have this poor boy stay away from my live streams for a little bit because I'm fixing on hurting him. I don't know what he wants here, but something about his energy is not vibing with me. Take him away, please. And he stayed away for a while. I didn't say anything to him. He stayed away for a bit, working on his own stuff. Turns out he just needed some energetic service. Once that was corrected, I mean, now we all love him, don't we? He's a village baby. Everybody want to protect him. He's a good person, very, very good person. I didn't need to know his intentions to set my own intentions. I really didn't. I didn't need to know anything except the fact that my energy is not happy with yours around me right now. That was a long while back. Sometimes when we wait for other people to set their intentions and make their intentions known, we're actually giving them control over how we are going to live. And that's not always the best idea. If someone has consistently shown you that they is a lying ass hoe, they a lying ass heifer ass hoe, you don't believe them in the end when they're, you know, about to lose their control over you, especially if they have psychological disturbances that cause them to be predatory towards others, narcissistic type personalities. People who are pathological liars. Never believe what they say. If they couldn't tell you the truth when things were good, I promise you, baby boo, they not going to tell you the truth when things are going bad. And their power, their hold over you is being slowly eroded. They are not going to tell you the truth. And I promise you, they'll go out of their way to punish you. They will. They will go out of their way to punish you. You can go out of your way all you want. I'm not going to be accessible to you. I'm not going to be accessible. None of that's going to touch me. You know why? You never had control over me. My life was never based on what your intention is. I have the capacity, the authority, and the inclination, the proclivity to set my own intentions. And I think for many of us, we don't exercise that right to set our own intentions, create our own timelines of when we're going to do this and that, and make certain types of decisions and implement certain types of decisions. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Nope. 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 It's their final decision, but they can't stay away. Mm. It's almost like this sense of, for the unhealthy, they're obsessed. This is the greatest game of like cat and mouse that they've ever had the opportunity to play. And it's almost like they think they're under the protection of something. They're not, but they're trying to convince you that they are. That's a problem if you're going to believe that. If you believe that they are beyond the laws of the land, if you are to agree with that, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to go so far into their very distorted, very sick type of mindset. And it's going to have some very real ramifications for your life, negative ones, very, very negative ones. However, if you really like set this very strict, very and very adamant about the boundaries, that you're no longer willing to allow anyone or anything to cross over, I think they'll begin to hesitate and hesitate and hesitate until it's a point of like they know they're not going to get away with things. Documentation and a solid police report will put the fear of God in the majority of these people. Yep. Yes. Unless, of course, they have some very serious psychological disturbances or they lack the intelligence to understand um, the actual gravity of the hole they're digging for themselves. You know, one of the things that was very, very telling um, for that cheesy ass stalker was that when I went ahead and began to really pursue legal action, I forget at what point, but I forget at what point they sent this email, but I was like going through all of the emails and organizing them for law enforcement, for prosecutors. And there was one that was like, you didn't really save all those messages, did you? But why would you save it? Because I remember there was another email that was sent way before that, or maybe it was a message on Facebook or something, where it was like, ha ha ha, I'm sure your team is having to work overtime deleting all my messages. We didn't delete shit, bitch. We didn't delete shit. Yeah, we didn't delete shit. Everything's archived upon archived upon archived. Everything that's sent is archived upon archived upon archived, sent to lawyers, sent to prosecutors, sent to law enforcement. I'm not fucking around. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing. I'm not playing at all. You got to stop playing with people who are toying with your capacity to see clearly and live in a space of peace within yourself. You got to stop playing along. You have to, because they take advantage of your kindness and your grace. They really, really do. They have no idea of your capacity because you've never shown it to them. You've never shown it to them. So how would they know? And I'm not saying you deserve it. I'm not saying you did something to initiate it. I'm saying once it's already initiated and it's already so far out of control, you need to start really choosing the options and the actions that make it very, very clear. You're not taking no more. You're not playing. And this will end in your favor if they don't stop. And then you really need to back up those words. You really need to back that up with actual action. Okay? Now, as Charlie was saying, majority of these people, once they start getting the legal notices, um, getting contacted by, law enforcement, their tune suddenly changes. But that requires your action. Never delete evidence. Ever, 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 ever. Some people will tell you, just ignore them. Eventually they'll go away. You know how many didn't go away? One was really hell bent. This was years back, was really hell bent and was also threatening my family because I refuse to teach them energetic work. I will not teach someone who lacks integrity any type of energetic work. And so they were livid. They were so mad. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not teaching you shit. If I think you're going to be hurting people with what I teach you, I'm not going to teach it to you. And so they got really upset. That's fine, be upset. And then they decided to defraud me multiple times. And then they decided to do a whole bunch of other things and try and incite all sorts of really ugly situations involving as many people as they could. And then I said, all right, I'm done. What does that mean? Well, you're a former client. That means I have tangible information on you. You've committed fraud against me. You've defrauded me. Thousands. You've defrauded me. I'm reporting you to the FBI. Oh, and I did. Absolutely. And I filed a police report. And I shared with them documented evidence of a hit and run that this person did on the location this person lives. And so they contacted that local police department. I'm not going to be an accessory to your crime. Oh, and the best part, this was the bestest part. Oh my God, my FBI agent was named Michael. Agent Michael. Agent Michael. We spoke on the phone for quite a few hours. And I was telling him the whole situation. And he's like, well, we're going to give our friend a little call. We're going to give our little friend a little call and see what's exactly going on. And then next thing you know, a couple weeks later, this big badass is suddenly texting me, hey, this is so stupid. Let's just go back to being friends. Let's put all this behind us. Oh, no, sir. Go talk to Michael. Agent Michael. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you want to be friends. There was no lie that was created about you. Everything that was submitted was factual. When I say I'm done, quit fucking with me, I mean I'm done. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Luckily for him, he didn't actually write the words of, I'm going to unalive you and your family. That's a terrorist threat. In the United States of America, that's a terrorist threat. Verbalizing, written, or oral, that you're going to physically harm someone, that's a terrorist threat. Typically, you're immediately picked up and brought to jail. Yep. When you are done, you guys, you need to really be done. Because all the times where I was done and my actions didn't match my words, these bitch ass motherfuckers kept going and they kept recruiting more people. They kept going. You are the one who needs to put a stop to it. You are the one who is responsible for you. They made their final decision. They can't stay away. So what does that mean for you if they're toxic? That's got to mean something. You got to figure out what that means. For the person that's healthier, they made their final decision probably to stay away from you, but they can't stay away. What does that mean? That means continue living your life until they can come to terms with the fact that um, maybe you're destined to be a part of their life in some way, as a friend, as a confidant, maybe in a romantic capacity. I don't know. But at no point should you ever put your entire life on hold until a potential person can figure their stuff out. I mean, but what if I find someone who treats me so good before they're ready? Then that means they weren't supposed to be with you in a romantic way. That means they probably were supposed to just be a really good friend, you know? Be a really good friend. It's difficult to set that hard line when you're still living with a person. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's one of the things, like if you're still in a shared space, even if you have your own room, if that person has access to the unit, that is not going to work. Especially if they're very very toxic. That is not going to work, and many of us don't have many options, right? But you're going to have to find a substandard option. Well, the better way to put it, it's substandard because it's not your preference. It's still a very viable option, but it's not your preference. And so, in your eyes, it's substandard, right? You're going to have to do something, It's you're gonna have to do something, make some type of decision, to really just be out of there. Yeah. And then you have to be able to recognize when sometimes you use that difficulty as an excuse to remain connected because you actually you don't want to let go yet. You don't want to let go, right? For some people, it's like they can't quite be honest with themselves about their desire to continue to have interaction. You don't want to let go yet. I mean, if you're not ready to let go, just be honest with yourself. No one gets to judge you, you know? No one gets to be like, you need to do this, this, and this. I mean, you probably do, but it's your choice whether you will or you won't, right? So you need to begin looking at what your choices are. Your choices are the very thing that's either going to, or the choices you select are either going to be the very thing that causes you to finally move forward and begin the process of healing, or it's going to be the very thing that's causing you to um, further complicate your situation, further experience elevations in hardship. I think for some, that ex friend, ex coworker, ex lover, baby mama, baby dada, whatever it is. These cards are telling me that things are about to get real, very real, really, really real. So be fearless. For those who are in the negative circumstance, you're going to feel very, very unsure, very, very afraid of the options that are being presented to you because it's nerve wracking. It's very, very nerve wracking. It's a very fear infused process, right? I get it. It's not easy. Um, Oftentimes, the things that are most worth your while are not easy to do, right? It's going to be something that's going to be very, very difficult to choose to move forward. Um, you're worth it. You are worth the elevations in learning potential that usually translate to human perception as struggle, right? Every time I have the opportunity to enhance my learning capabilities, my learning potential, that directly translates into additional compounded hardship for me. And if you think about it, so you could do some type of exercise where I forget the name of the exercise. It's this exercise where you're basically doing a Romanian deadlift and then a clean snatch. And as you snatch it up, you then do a squat with it. And then as you go back up, you have to lean over, you have to deadlift it again, and then you have to pull it back up, and then you have to snatch it, and then you have to squat it, and then you stand up, you lean over and you deadlift, and then you pull it up, and you snatch it up, and you squat it, right? That's hella hard. That burns like a mofo. But I mean, the booty gains. I'm serious. The booty gains off that. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, it's a compound movement. And it's much harder than just a deadlift or just a squat. But that additional complication in movement, that additional struggle that you have as you begin to fatigue much faster because of the amount of work you are doing each repetition. Good God. The gains, man, the gains. It's the same thing with learning. It's the same exact thing with learning. Your ability to learn is limitless. At least Now, this struggle that you're experiencing, it's not for nothing. It's not because someone is just toying with you. It's because your soul is now actively teaching you something ridiculously profound about yourself. Ooh, I'm saying, let your intuition guide you during this period. Really let that intuition guide you into spaces that will create more happiness a little bit further down the road. Now, for many of us, we're like, if it doesn't make for happiness right now, we don't want to do it. What if it doesn't work out? Okay, but boo boo, baby boo, boo, listen to me. You are willing to take a chance on this really fucked off human being with no guarantee that it would work out. If you could put yourself in these very questionable situations for very fucked off people, you could put yourself in precarious situations that carry with it the potentiality of working tremendously in your favor. I mean, yeah. Okay. I think for many of us, we don't realize that we have actively chosen to allow these yucky people to have the opportunity to do really yucky things to us. We allowed. Doesn't mean we deserve. We allowed. And if you can allow that and deal with the struggle and hold on for months, for some it's years, you held on for years. Sometimes your soul puts you in very uncomfortable situations as a part of your growth process so that you don't choose to stay there. Sometimes your soul wants you to go through this process so quickly that it opts to make you so uncomfortable that you speed ahead. You barrel down the freeway of growth because you don't want to go through this any longer than you need to. It's just one of them things. Some people lack integrity. You're not one of those people. You're not one of those people. Some people lack integrity. You let them be. Let them be. Okay. Some people will make promises that they never had any intentions of fulfilling. You let them be. Do not put your eggs in their basket because I promise you, they don't know how to properly hold a basket. They'll break all the damn eggs. Okay. Then you won't have anything. You will not have anything at all. Celestial teacher in reverse. They are not teaching you. Whoever this is that's doing badly to you, they are not teaching you. They're creating the hardship that's causing you to be aware that your soul is teaching you something about yourself. They're not teaching you. They're not teachers. Don't give them that kind of credit. It's not because of them that you're growing. It's because you chose to grow despite the really nasty stuff they've done to you. I would never say that the people who have done so much horrendous, intentionally malignant stuff to me, I'm so grateful for them because they taught me how strong. They didn't teach me shit. They initiated a cycle because of their nastiness. The horrible people, at least to me, they're horrible to me. And I'm choosing to learn what I need to learn in that. I'm choosing to see that this is being brought to me by my soul so that I could learn something from it. Not them. It's not they don't care if you learn. They have one intention, to be as hurtful and as malignant and as destructive to you and your life as possible. And it doesn't have to be someone who uses physical intimidation. I think that's the thing. I think many of us tolerate things that are so inappropriate because they haven't physically harmed you yet. Some people don't have the courage to. Some people only have the courage to harm you emotionally and mentally, which I think that's so much worse, because that's the wound that continues to live inside you, oftentimes unrecognized, for years on end, affecting all your future connections, affecting your ability to receive love, affecting your ability to trust people who are worthy of your trust. And don't get me wrong, um, physical acts of aggression are still very detrimental. Yeah, the physical body will heal, but that also carries with it mental and emotional reverberations for a very long time. Very, very long time. Don't prolong the amount of time that these type of people have access to you. Don't prolong it. Just don't. Card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted, but it's in reverse. This card is typically about receiving, right? Allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to be the one to initiate the start of a receiving cycle. Um, this is calling you out. You haven't been allowing yourself to receive. You're not allowing yourself to receive the support, the encouragement, the empowerment. Maybe you are to a degree where you're like you're listening to people who have empowering things to say to you, but you're not fully taking it in as part of your truth, right? Um, hmm. There's just one person that I know, very, very dear to me. And a very long time ago, she had already expressed that this is it, the marriage is done. And, that's a very difficult decision. They have children. And I remember, because of the business that he was in, he wasn't supposed to be in that business. That carried with it, because I didn't want to get into details, but that carried with it a felony charge. It's a legal business. It's legal for someone who is not mandated by the legal system to not participate in that business. Huh. But he participated in it. And this is a person who has been so emotionally and mentally affected by the treatment that they had received. As far as I remember, there was no physical aggression. And I remember one time, I don't know how it came up, but I remember I was like, "Is he at work?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You need to call and let someone know." And she's like, "But he'll get arrested." Right. If you don't call, you're going to regret it. And of course, it was this thing of, "Oh, that's so severe, I don't want to this and that." And I'm just like, "I'm telling you, it's your choice. I get it. You have kids. If you don't call, it's going to be bad." They didn't call. And I understood. Never brought it up again. But the divorce that ensued, I believe it lasted for several years. And at one point, I was asked to be a character witness, um, which I had to request that my personal information be withheld. I was advocating for the children. The divorce thing, that's not has nothing to do with me. I was advocating for the children. And I had to request that my personal information be withheld because they operated out of the state that I did business in. And I knew they had access to tremendous funds and that I was worried for my safety, physical, professional, personal safety, as well as for my family. And it was one of the most horrendous things I had to witness. And the child advocacy firm that was assigned to the determine what was in the children's best interest had said it was the worst case of emotional maltreatment and manipulation they had ever seen in their like 20 something year career. And it was bad. It was so bad. I don't tell people information for their private circumstance willy-nilly. But when I tell you, like, if you don't take proactive action right now, it will end very badly for you. I'm usually not wrong. I'm usually not wrong. So when I say that for whoever needs to hear this, you need to start making plans. I don't know what your plans need to be, but you need to not count on the empty promises that are being said to keep you in trance, to keep you in that spell. I mean, you can't blame them for the blinders on your head that blind you if you know the blinders are there and you have the capacity to remove them, right? It's just one of those things when you allow it, Carnelian law kicks in and they're no longer held accountable because you knew and you still agreed. So that's on you now. That's not their karmic load. That's yours. That's yours, right? Allow the sting of what's being done to inspire you to grow a garden, to inspire you to begin seeking out that pot of honey. If someone wants to be a broody little bee and sting you when they can, but present themselves as so adorable, um, I mean, what's wrong with harvesting some of that honey? I'm saying, at least what's fair. You don't want to take everything because then the hive won't survive, right? You want to make sure it can continue to be sustainable for the beehive. Because we're not trying to punish anyone. We're only trying to um, allow ourselves to receive what is appropriate, what is an appropriate, fair amount, right? Card number 42, the word wants to be written. There's something that's going on where it's like, ooh, whatever evidence you might think you have, it might be erased. I hope that for you guys, you know that as soon as you um, identify something as evidential, right? Meaning it serves as proof if you need to prove something later down the line, right? If you need to prove that there was an oral agreement of, dividing things fairly between you guys, you need to make sure you take a screenshot of that and save that in case you do need to prove it later. This is just such a difficult topic because it's always the nicest people that get screwed over. But are you getting screwed over? Or are you simply seeing the playing out of the decisions you've made? The way you have enabled and empowered, emboldened a predatory person to prey upon you. That's why I can't I won't allow myself to stay in a space of like bitterness and blaming um, people who have done such ugly things in the past, because I recognize the ways in which my own behavior has encouraged them to take it to the next level and the next level and the next level, right? Like, for example, and I think at least some of you, if not most of you, can relate to this. For example, what I find myself doing from time to time is being overly available, overly generous, overly giving, overly everything to someone because I love them, right? It doesn't have to be romantic love. It's just I love them. So I like to pamper people that I love. And then it creates a standard of expectation for that person. What would normally be seen as like, oh my God, this is so sweet. Thank you. Is now expected. It's the norm. So when I don't do it, they're suddenly like, what the hell? What? So this is kind of a very watered down example because it's not that serious. Like I usually, we each have our own little cup with a lid, and I put my entire family's supplements in the cups every morning, and every cup has a person's name because we all take different supplements. And it's been working out really well. It's been working out really, really well. I've loved it. Um, but for some reason the other day, I just yeah, I was out of it, and I didn't do that for anyone at all. I didn't even take my supplements, which I have to take every day for my thyroid. I didn't even take anything. And I was just like, I'm just tired. I don't feel like doing it. And I'm over here thinking like my kids don't like it. Like they kind of just get forced because mom's going to keep being like, hey, you need to take your supplements. And then the next day, my husband tells me that one of my kids was like, oh, mom didn't leave out my supplements for me. I was like, oh, did you tell them that I didn't do supplements for anyone? And then I realized like what I thought was something that was just such a pain in the butt for them. They've grown accustomed to it. And that's kind of just how we start the day. It's like another show of the way I love them and care for them, right? Because I do it before I do anything else. And so now there's that expectation. I wouldn't say it's an unhealthy, unrealistic expectation. It's not unhealthy or unrealistic for my children to expect me to make their health a priority, right? Through supplementation. But that's one of the things. And if you apply that to someone who's not your child and they become accustomed to you giving them, $50 every day so they could have a nice lunch because, you love them, they're your friend, right? And then now you don't have money and you can't give them the $50. And suddenly they're like, ew, what's happening? What's wrong? Why aren't you giving me $50? Like, why are you being like that? I don't have lunch because of you. It's your fault now. I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. No, I'm joking. But that's the thing. You create this very unrealistic expectation for people. It becomes the norm, and then they don't appreciate it anymore because it's part of the norm. They forget that the average person does not do this for someone else. You have to be clear within yourself about the ways in which you empower and embolden these very toxic behaviors later down the line, okay? Card number 26, relax the hold the darkness and be at cause. It's in reverse. You're allowing yourself to be swirled and swirled and swirled, and you think you're being immersed in the light. That's artificial light. That's fakery and foolery. It's straight up buffoonery. Mm-hmm. That was Mr. Briggs's favorite. That was Mr. Briggs's favorite expression. all throughout my high school career, Mr. Briggs, if you piss him off, he's going to be like, buffoonery. Sir, if you could please not call the students buffoons. Yeah, it's buffoonery. Yep. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. What the hell was that? Card number 23, defend to the end the worthwhile. You got to stick up for yourself. It's their final decision, but they can't stay away. If their presence is unhealthy for you, you just got to stick up for yourself. You can do it by verbalizing your disagreement, your protest to their presence, or whatever it is. Or you could just quietly remove access. It doesn't always have to be an over the top um, grand show of whatever it is you've decided. Sometimes it's best to just kind of keep it very low key and very quiet, right? Because you don't have to explain the whys. You don't have to explain anything to anyone. Like, if you guys are someone who I love interacting with day in and day out on live streams, and then suddenly you choose to no longer be part of the live streams, to no longer, be present in my journey, you don't owe me an explanation. And I'm not going to seek one out from you. I'm going to respect your decision. I'm just going to be like, I miss you. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to feel that. Like, I miss your presence and I hope everything is good. But you don't owe me an apology. You don't owe me an explanation. You make decisions that are for your best interest, your best health, your growth, all of that. And it has to be respected. Not everyone can handle that, though. It's not your job to help them handle it. Card number 34, in the world, not of the world. In the world, not of the world. You have this capacity to reach such a high degree of understanding and growth. You're in this world, but you're not of this world. You're not like the average person. You're just not. You're not. And what ends up happening is when you try and play like your normal, average, neurotypical, um, is just one of those things where, yeah, it gives room for people who don't understand the gravity of you, um, to begin to play around with you, to play with your emotions, to play with your time, your energy, your focus, all of that. And you shouldn't allow people to do that. You just shouldn't. I mean, you have the right to allow them if you want, but you shouldn't. Card number 1, after the storm. So whatever this is, it's coming to an end abruptly. It's abruptly coming to an end. And what needs to kind of happen at this point is you need to allow things to be, you need to allow things to play out in the way your soul determines it must play out, right? When you get that instruction from soul, it will just be like a gut feeling. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Okay. When the people who you trust, people who have nothing but your best interest at heart, are telling you, like, hey, is this is not good. This is not good. You shouldn't allow this. Um, you got to listen to that. You got to listen, and don't let your empathic toxicity, mhm, your empathic toxicity, to be the very thing that causes you to choose what will enable an escalation of the issue. Years ago, when my I don't even want to call it my Swiss Satan, Swiss cheese, Satan cheese. When Satan cheese when Satan queso um was first ramping up their fucking weird shit, they were messaging all hours of the day in a business account on social media, doing all of these, like, Um, like they were using it as like a confessional. Like, what the fuck? And they were confessing extremely inappropriate things that I had no desire, no business to be knowing. And and I mean, all of my notifications are turned off. All my notifications are turned off, so it didn't bother me none. But everyone else, like my because it would ding my entire team. So everyone else was seeing this but me. Hello, it's a business account. What are you doing? Um, and then my husband one night was like, "You need to fucking tell this guy how annoying he is, and he needs to fucking stop. This is a business account." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, you don't mind because you turned off all your notifications." And I was like, "Why was he writing?" Yeah. And I told my husband, "He's just so socially awkward. I don't think he has any friends. Just let him keep venting. He's just venting. Don't worry about it. No one responds to him anyways. Just everyone just keep ignoring him. Just so that way at least he feels like someone's listening, even though none of us are reading it." Worst fucking mistake. Worst toxic empathy ever. Because look where it led. Look where it led. Look where it led. Right? So now I'm very quick to be like, "Yo, you're being fucking weird. I'm now going to ban you. Don't make a new account. I don't want you around." That's why you guys hear and see me speak to people that way in live stream sometimes. That's why. All right. Because some people be like, "Whoa, shit. Oh my God. Oh, wow. She told that person up." That's why. That's why. So it's very, very, very fucking clear. Very clear. And no, I'm not going to allow any more of that shit. Y'all have to learn from my mistakes. I'm saying you guys got to learn from my mistakes. That's my hope. That's why I'm sharing that. I'm hoping you learn from that because, yeah, no. Card number 21, growth. It's in reverse. Some of the things that you're deciding is stunting your growth because it's allowing you to be accessed by the very people who are draining the energy that should be used for growth. Listen to your intuition. You know which people are which, right? Listen to that intuitive urge. Change, Sejal. You have to allow the change to occur. You have to allow yourself to change either into a more empowered version of yourself or a version of you that is just so unwilling to tolerate any more bullshit. You know, naturally, I tend to be in real life, just a very tolerant person, just like whatever, it's no biggie. Um, yeah, in real life should not be the same as online because I'm capable of being combative. I'm capable of speaking up for myself, as are you. So you should probably say something and do something to stop enabling whoever it is that needs to stop being enabled. You probably need to. Okay. So, card number 6, clarifier. You need to clarify for yourself what's your objective. When you know it's not your objective to continue the cycle of hurt with someone who has been malignant to you, and you know that your decisions are strictly based in stabilizing yourself, you can't allow yourself to shame yourself back into this. I know I rolled my eyes so hard. You cannot allow yourself to shame yourself back into this space of, "Oh, I don't want to make things worse. But it's going to be worse anyways." When they think they can get away with stuff, if they raise enough of a fuss and that causes you to break down your resolve, I promise you every time they want to get their way, they're going to cause a fuss. You are programming them to recognize that pathway of brattiness is a pathway to success with everything they demand from you. Is their final decision, but they can't stay away. You're going to need to keep them away. Card number 26, parasitic. If you allow yourself to enter into a space of parasitic behavior, sometimes what will happen is parasites will enter. Parasites to enter happen. You need to not, no, 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 allow yourself to be in that space. Okay? This is not about who's right, who's wrong. This is about recognizing what you need to be healthy within yourself, to have a healthy environment. For many of you who resonate with me, you're neurodivergent, right? And some people don't know what a neurodivergent is. It means you process information differently. Your brain function, perception, it diverges from the typical type of function. It's an actual thing, right? It's not just like, "Oh, I'm quirky, I'm neurodivergent. Oh, I love people, I'm neurodivergent." No, no, it's not that at all. For example, my kids are neurodivergent. We were doing some basic math for school the other day, and, it was a case of, uh, I think the number was 5,280. We were doing units of measurement. Can you hear me? So, we were doing units of measurement, and we convert 5,280 into whatever, right? We had to double it. And so I told my child that best go ahead and write the number 5,280 plus 5,280. This is one of my kids who does all their math and I'm like, "I don't really." Can you hear me okay? Okay. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better now? Oh, wait, wait, wait. Can you hear me better now? Is that better? Okay. So, what I was saying is my child was doing his math, right? And so I told him, it's hard for me as your instructor to follow the process you're doing in your brain. And, can you write it on paper, basically? And so he's neurodivergent, obviously. And he starts adding, he adds the ones column, which is a zero. And then he has to add 8 plus 8. Now, rather than just doing 8 plus 8 equals 16, carry the one, he was like, all right, so 8 plus 8 would be 5 plus 5, which is 10, with three left over for each. That makes it 6. 6 plus 10 is 16. 8 plus 8 is 16. And then we carry the one over into the next column for the tens group. What? That's what I said. What? That's what I said. And I knew he was going to do something like that. As soon as his eyes rolled up to the ceiling, he goes, I was like, he's not just going to do 8 plus 8. He's going to do some type of factor tree, something, something that I'm not going to follow. No, boo. He said, this is what he said: 8 plus 8 equals This is what he said. So rather than this, 8 plus 8 equals 16. Oh, I didn't see the 0. He did this. 8 plus 8 equals 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. I was like, yes. That's a neurodivergent. Your brain does not process information in the same way as a neurotypical person. So, those of you who are neurodivergent, oh, wait until one of these days I'm going to record the audio of of them doing math when they get to advanced math, because a lot of it is like and then they know the answer. I'm just like, well, if you want me to help you, you got to write down what you're thinking. But when you're neurodivergent and you process things differently, you have the capacity to see life and circumstance in the reality of what it actually is, not what it's being proposed to be by people who lie, right? When you are neurodivergent, you have the capacity to understand and recognize when you are in the presence of something parasitic. There is something parasitic going on, right? There is something very, very parasitic going on for many of you. And this parasitic situation, the person is hoping that you continue playing the role because it enables them to continue doing what they're doing to you, which is not good. Card number 32, ancestral magic. You have to tap into the parts of you that are capable of defending you. Secrets exposed. Ooh. What? Just got a notification. Secrets exposed. What? Yeah. So something's about to be exposed. And for some of you, you're going to see that they didn't really have the capacity to be honest with you ever. But they absolutely have the capacity, the willingness, the drive, and the focus to screw you over at least one more time. At least one more time. And if you let them do that, I promise you it will be the worst screw over you will have ever experienced in the time you've been with them. Yeah. So decide carefully, okay? As we're approaching that 888 portal, what ends up happening is we begin to really amplify the different potentialities that our soul is letting us know we have access to. I'm going to be working on getting the 888 fire ceremony up and posted so that you guys can look at the different expedites I'll have available. These expedites that are coming available, quite a few of them are going to be ones you've never heard of before because there's been changes to the morphogenetic template of the planetary grid. So y'all have your wits about you, pay attention, allow yourself to recognize things, situations for what they are. I don't know that you're in dire danger. I don't necessarily feel that, but it does feel like there's a plotting that's going on. You know, there's a plotting and planning, and don't let them be successful with whatever they have in store for you. Don't do it. Don't do it. You deserve to take steps forward into your space of peace, okay? So guys, thank you very much for sharing this space with me. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.